What it is, YouTube? Is your boy Nixie coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial today that's gonna help you become a better engineer and get better mixes. Let's not wait no time. Let's get to it right now. Big 30. If y'all do like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check the description to support the channel. Let's go. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. Can't bitch, I'm known for giving. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. Can't bitch, I'm known for giving our head right. Okay, so today we got none other than Big 30, who's a very dope rapper from Memphis. You know, he was running a lot of times with Pooh Shiesty, so I wanted to go over his sound because I think he's really slipped on. He a dope rapper out of Memphis. So let's show you what it sound like with and without the preset. Let's go. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. Can't bitch, I'm known for giving our head around. Okay, so that's how the preset is sounding. A lot of the times I feel like with Big 30, he has this little bit of crispy type of twinkling into his voice, right? Just something that's kind of sounds bright, but for the most part, you know, he's coming out of Memphis, and I damn well know, you know, there's a couple people from Memphis who watch me, shout out Maine, but Memphis is a very gritty place. It's not sweet, okay? So we can't make the vocals a little bit too bright and too Tinkerbelly and too, you know, feathery. We gotta make it a situation where it has a little bit of sparkle, but for the most part, it's very gritty. You feel me? It's very gritty, very dirty, very finna, you know, everything that he's saying that he really finna do. You know, it makes the lyrics more believable when you have a tone and a texture that supports the rapper. So that's what we're going for: gritty but clean, all right, but and professional. So very first thing with somebody like Big 30 is I use the Many MEQ. So with the Many MEQ is very interesting because it's a bunch of different EQs that he patched together. So like I know the top one is like the mag, you know, the airband, like, you know, is the mag, and then he got filters from like his Neve or whatever. It's pretty much just like a Frankenstein of EQs he put together. So with somebody like Big 30, I'm just kind of adjusting the mid range for his vocal because his vocal feels like it's really hefty. I mean, they call him Big 30 for a reason. His vocal is hefty and he's kind of hefty. So I'm trying to make that mid range, you know, get slimmed down a little bit, put that mid range on a diet so it could fit into the track. You feel me? Okay. So yeah, we did most important for me was rolling off just a little bit of top end. It kind of focuses the top end and doing a shelf. Okay. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. Can't bitch, I'm known for giving our head around. Yeah, so for the most part, we're using, you know, that low pass filter in a situation where we're just kind of angling the high end pretty much. I'm trying to really focus that high end because he has that little crispy sparkle that I said in his voice, and that's how I'm creating it by doing the shelf and then boosting and cutting. You know, and a pull tech is something like that, you know, kind of has that way of boosting and cutting the high end to focus it. All right, like I'm like a photographer right now. I'm getting my lighting right. You feel me? When you're taking a picture and stuff like that, they say, hold on. Let me get my angle right, my nigga. Let me get my angle right in the sun so I could, you know, properly display myself. So I'm trying to properly display the vocal with the way I'm adjusting the filtering. After that, we got the de-esser doing a couple of dBs, nothing crazy though. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Love using the R de-esser. It's a very consistent de-esser for me. I only like to do a couple of dBs, and then after that, I have this C4 right here doing some of the high frequency limiting, right? So the high frequency pretty much is kind of like that crosswalker. You feel me? That's telling the high end, okay, you can't go cross the street yet, pretty much. You feel me? So I have a little bit of a high frequency limiting that's going on, that's keeping my harshness in check. But at the same time, the words that don't have any harshness, they come in through with the full effect of the brightness. Okay, so that's how I'm trying to get his vocals to sound bright, sparkly, but not overly crispy. Like when you go to a fried chicken place, you feel me, they gonna ask you, do you want it to be fried crispy or you want it to be fried hard? There's a difference between deep frying something and then softly frying a chicken. You feel me? Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot, king bitch. Very delicate like a baby cradling that high end, you feel me? So we did a high shelf boost, right? I did a high shelf boost. I boosted the high shelf, put it on the elevator to the high shelf, go up a little bit higher. So rather than to, do a lot of cutting with like how can I say a static EQ, I'm using dynamic processors, right? So my high end is still fluttering and moving around. The de-esser only comes when there's an S around. The C4 is only going, limit only when there's an S coming around. So that's how I'm still keeping my high end. I'm still keeping my air, that sense of sparkle that Big 30 has, but it's not a situation where it's just clamping down every single time on the upper part of his vocal, if you get me. So after that, I'm using the Kramer Pi, and the Kramer Pi is a solid state compressor. Eddie Kramer, who is Jimi Hendrix engineer, he used to like to use this a lot. So this compressor is known for being bitey in the mid range. And when I think about a young, like a young, Dolph, R.I.P. I think about Moneybagg Yo. I think about a lot of Memphis rappers, Yo Gotti. They always got a little bit of that grit. They always show you a little bit of their teeth. You feel me? They show you, you feel me? They show you a little bit of that Rottweiler. You feel me? In their voice, it has a high mid bite. So I'm using a compressor to push out that high mid essentially. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. King bitch, I'm known for giving. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. King bitch, I'm known. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. King bitch, I'm known for giving our head around. So you hear that when the threshold isn't working, that we kind of flattens out a little bit. The vocal kind of turns into a sweet cupcake. You feel me? Jits start to get sweet a little bit, but I want my vocals to be a little bit rugged. I want them to be a rugged, thuggish. You feel me? Like a thug on the block type shit. So I use that Kramer compressor for a tone thing. You feel me? I'm kind of starting to annoy the vocal with just a little bit of that compression, and it's making that high mid get a little bit greedy. You feel me? It sounds like the streets a little bit more. It don't sound like that gated community with the picket fence. Now I really start to sound like Memphis. In order for you to accurately, be a good engineer, you gotta portray where the rapper come from. So sometimes you gotta ask the rapper like, "Yo, what's your neighborhood like? You feel me? Get to actually know the person." Type shit like that, right? And then from there you be like, "Oh, Memphis ain't sweet." Well, guess what? I know I can't make this vocal sweet. I can't make it sparkly in a certain way. I can't put a certain amount of sugar. There's white sugar and then there's brown sugar. You feel me? They don't really taste the same. They might be the same thing, but they kind of got a different texture to it. You feel me? So after that, using the SSLG channel strip, you feel me, man? And that SSLG channel strip, I'm putting it on limiter mode. And when you put it on limiter mode and I'm just tapping it a little bit, a limiter brings a little bit of aggression to a vocal. You feel me? It helps it become a little bit more jagged. It gives the vocals some hiccups. And I like the limiter mode on the SSLG because it has a way of enhancing the transients. You feel me? So all of those consonants, they're going to start to get hardened a little bit, So also using the expander as well. So the expander is also pushing up. So a transient designer is an upwards expander, right? So just know when you can use an expander to make it harder. You feel me? It will harden up the vocal. You'll take the vocal like a turtle and put a shell on it. You feel me? That makes it a little bit harder to hit. It makes it hit harder. And then we just cleaned up the mid range. And I heard a little bit of like because I just did the compression. I feel like there was a little harshness that came out with the compressor, so I pulled it back down just a little. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. King bitch, I'm known for giving out. So pretty much what it's doing is it's giving a little bit more force. It's giving a little bit more force to the vocal. You feel me? Making it a little bit more force. It's making the vocal kind of have that vein pop out. So it's really angry and shit like that, Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. King bitch, I'm known for giving our head around. Okay, after that, we have an RVox, and we know with somebody like Big 30, I've already been carving and carving and carving and carving and cutting out that whole low mid of his vocals. So now I want to bring back a little bit of that low mid density. You feel me? I want to treat it like bread under the oven and help that low mid rise. You feel me? Like when you first put a piece of bread under the oven, you know it's gonna be flat and everything like that. That's kind of what I done did. I done cut out everything. Now everything is kind of flat. Now I want to, put it under the oven so it could rise and be full and plump again. You feel me? And I'm using the RVox to give a little bit of that low mid density. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't crazy shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. Can't bitch, I'm known for. And I love the way the RVox kind of just like packs the signal into the vocal a little bit more. It takes all like the detail and kind of pack it in. It's like a situation where sometimes you might have like a box, right? And you start putting like your stuff inside the box. You start putting shoes. You start putting all this stuff inside this little tubby, this little container. And sometimes you just gotta force. You gotta force something to go into that little space. So that's what the RVox is doing. That's what compression in general does. It kind of like compacts everything, like sometimes people might have like a Ziploc bag or some shit like that, and then they might take the air out of the Ziploc bag to make it more compact. So that's what we're doing with the compressor. We kind of taking the air out of the signal, we squeezing it a little bit so we can pack the vocal a little bit better, you feel me, into the box. So fresh air, so of course this is how I'm getting my Tinkle Barrel Sparkle for a big Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't crazy shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. Can't bitch, I'm known for giving our head around. So after that, we have the REQ right here, just doing a couple of notches in the mid range, especially with his vocal. I done did so much compression and the upwards expander and all that stuff like that to get the transients of the vocal sounding right. Now I just want to, kind of tone it down a little bit. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't crazy shit. All right, now after that, we have the Silk vocal from Waves, which I just love using this so much. I love just putting it at the end of the chain and just kind of like letting it be like a tour guide and guide me, because it's gonna take out all the nasty resonances and all that redundant work. You feel me? It's gonna do all the little junk work. It's gonna do all the little janitor work. It's gonna do all the little maid work. You feel me? It's gonna come in. It's gonna sweep the floors, broom the mop. It's gonna do all the chores, pretty much type shit. That's what this plugin do. It does all the chores. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't crazy shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. Can't bitch, I'm known for giving our head around. I really like that plugin a lot. It don't sound like Soothe. Soothe sounds too clean. Soothe sounds like it came from the suburbs. You feel me? Silk vocals sound like it came from Memphis. It's like two kids, but they grew up in two different neighborhoods. Like Soothe just sounds, it sounds mainstream, it sounds pop, but that Silk vocal just sounds like the hood. You feel me? It sounds like the trenches. It sounds like it came from the mud type shit like that. If I had to put it into like a person, you feel me? So at that point, now we have the H delay on like an eighth note, like something quick, but you could hardly even hear it though. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no grades. We ain't crazy shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. Can't bitch, I'm known. Yeah, that's something that you can't even really hear at all. When it comes to like Moneybag Yo, Memphis vocals, a lot of times they're really dry. You can't hear no reverb, no nothing, which I like a lot because, for example, like music in the 1970s, if you listen to music in the 1970s, it's very dry. But when you make something very dry, what happens is it becomes dense. The more reverb you add to something, you literally kind of wash it away. It becomes a little bit softer. You feel me? Like you throw a little bit of water on something, and you already know that. If you take a bottle of water and you put it on sometimes something can get softer, like a sponge. You take some water, you put on a sponge, and the sponge gets softer because you used effects, which is the bottle, to wetten it up. So when you want something to be a little bit more denser, especially with Memphis vocals, try to keep it more dry. Try to keep the reverb to a minimal, damn near. You feel me? So I'm using a non-linear reverb, right? And sometimes with reverbs, it's also coming down to the time, you feel me, and the size of the reverb to get tight reverb. So I like a non-lin reverb because it's a very roomy kind of tone, right? And I used a hall, but look, it's blended like little to nothing, you feel me? So you can hardly even hear the reverb. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no graves. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top. So I'm only just splashing just a little bit of water on the vocal. I'm not bathing it. I'm not bathing it. You hear me? So after that, doubler, we already know what a doubler does. Like, come on. And then after that, at that point, we used SSLG channel on parallel for Big 30. And I kind of like what it does with that fast attack. I don't want to double up on my transient. So with my parallel compression, I'm always trying to squash it, that flattened signal. If I could show you what flat is and what full is, now you have a point of reference. You feel me? So it just makes the vocal have more presence that way. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no graves. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head shot. King bitch, I'm known for giving our head rounds. I put the MV2 on the back end just to kind of like finish it off, boost some of that low level detail that parallel compression already does anyways, and it just helps it really just hold there and stay in place. All right. So Big 30 ad libs real quick. We just did a little bit of EQ, a little bit of RVox, a little bit of SSLE again, doing the same thing with the limiter again. You feel me? The Memphis ad libs are also dry too, and they hit a little bit hard. You feel me? They're not faint. They're really solid and dense type shit. And then we have a CLA 76, and I'm letting a little bit of compression happen, I think. Boy, they buried in that cemetery, buried in that grave. Every shot I seen it hit some. I don't know shit about no graves. We ain't grazing shit. We hit niggas in that shit. Head top, head. All right. So yeah, doing a little bit of EQ on the reverb and everything like that. And that's pretty much it that we got for these Memphis vocals, man. I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are interested in getting this Big 30 vocal preset, you can check it in the description down below. Don't forget to suggest more artists so we can get to it. Just want to say thanks a lot, my YouTube family. Appreciate y'all now. Peace.